This is Miyamoto. I've been working on the live-action film of The Legend of Zelda for many years now with Avi Arad-san, who has produced many mega-hit films. I have asked Avi Arad-san to produce this film with me, and we have now officially started the development of the film with Nintendo itself heavily involved in the production. It will take time until its completion, but I hope you look forward to seeing it. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a huge deal. Shigeru Miyamoto hasn't dropped a bomb like this since the last time for the Super Mario Bros. Movie. So you can already tell that this movie has really been in the works and it's going to be happening in some years soon, maybe 2 to 3 years from now. He mentioned Avi Arad-san. He also mentioned it being a live action Zelda film. So we're here to talk about everything about that, the production team, who's going to be behind it, who we think is going to be the actors and actresses for the characters that we love, and possibly speculation on what game they're trying to adapt, if it's going to be a new story or not, and all the theory crafting we could do from that. I'm DJ iTubz, and I'm just a Zelda fan like you guys, and that's why I'm trying to have a combo with y'all like y'all are in this room, even though you're not. So I'm trying to tell you right now, it's being co-produced. Obviously, you've seen that from the tweet and Shigeru Miyamoto saying it. So Nintendo's involved. We know that. If we look at the track record with the Super Mario Bros. Movie, it's lore accurate. There's a lot of things going on in there that you know that Shigeru Miyamoto had his hands in. And from his track record with video games, he doesn't let any of his franchises slide even a bit. He doesn't like them to slide. He doesn't want anything going wrong with them. He likes what he likes and he approves what he likes. So we know we can be confident in that side. Avi Arad, who is that, and who is Avi Arad Productions Co? Well, they're the movie production company behind all of the original Marvel movies for the most part, because they were with Sony, and that's going to come back up in this conversation soon. But they're behind a lot of great movies, as well as a lot of really bad stinkers. They were the ones who made Spider-Man 1 and 2. They made the Blade series of movies, which we all know is really good. And as of recent times, they're behind Into the Spider-Verse series from Spider-Man. So yeah, some really great movies. But they also made Venom and Morbius. So yeah, not that good, right? But when I looked at that, I kind of said, okay, this could be either way. This could go either way. But then you have to look deeper. You have to do some more research, and you have to realize that that's also because of the director. The director of the movie matters just as much as the production company. The production company behind those movies has shown, and like, they can make comic books, graphic novels, all those kind of things into live action films successfully with a big budget and a lot of good work, as well as, yeah, like I said, some stinkers or whatever, right? But the director behind what's going to be the Zelda movie is Wes Ball. Wes Ball hasn't directed a flop that I really know of in recent years. He's behind the Planet of the Apes movies, including the Planet of the Apes movie that's coming out in like very soon. So that's huge. Those movies are great. The Planet of the Apes movie it's phenomenal. It's phenomenal if you haven't seen it. As well as the Maze Runner movies. He has a track record himself of being able to adapt graphic novels and fantasy lore, sci-fi, whatever you want to call it, into live action films. And he's able to work with a lot of actors very well to have them portray the characters that they need to portray. Kudos to those actors and actresses as well. But a director is just as important as the actors and actresses, because without a good script, without a good director, everything can fall apart. The director of the Lord of the Rings movies is the reason why they're so good, as well as the CGI team and everybody who is involved in it with the acting and just period. So we have 3 people in a room, or 3 production houses and teams that know how to produce these kind of movies, from video games. The Uncharted movie, they were ahead of the Uncharted movie as well. Not Wes Ball, but Avi Arad Productions. It was an okay movie. It was all right. but they all know how to adapt fantasy and lore into live action. And if you want to even take it on the reverse, Shigeru Miyamoto knows how to take real life and adapt it into the opposite, into fantasy and sci-fi. Why he has the Zelda series is even because he was a boy and it reminded him of walking around forest and things like that and looking for things as a child. So there's high hopes and obviously now high expectations for everything going on with this movie and the people behind it. I'm pretty confident with these three in the building, and as well Sony's involved with this. The production company works closely with Sony and they're funding this movie, co-funding this movie, as well as publishing this movie for Nintendo, just like they did with the Spider-Man movies and Venom and everything else. So we have four powerhouses now, being Nintendo, Sony, Aviary Productions, and West Ball. Really, really good for the movie stuff. That's all the nerdy movie stuff that we can get into with that. Now we got to go to the actors and actresses that we could speculate. A lot of people have thrown around some names for the movies and stuff like that, and I can't say I disagree with some of the things. We could start with Ganon. People are saying Batista or Idris Elba for Ganon. I'm cool with that. I'm definitely cool with that. Idris Elba or even Batista could be really good for those roles. I could see them doing it. Batista was Drax in the Guardians movies, but Idris Elba, we just know him as a good actor, and he's worked in video games as well. He just knows how to act. These guys know how to act. Batista was a WWE star, and now he's who he is. You know what I mean? Even more so. He knows how to act. Would I put The Rock in there? Not really. I don't think The Rock would be Ganon. I don't know if he'd be a good fit for it. Yes, the build-wise, you could look at things. Sure. But for me, personally, who I think could be a great Ganon, especially if you look at the new Tears of the Kingdom Ganon or something like that, I think Jason Momoa would be a great addition to that kind of list. Or, hear me out on this one, because I could have thrown this guy as Link, but as you know, Link for most of the games is a younger man. He's a teenager type thing, or even a child. Give me Henry Cavill for Ganon. You know what I'm saying? The guy who is the Witcher, who played the original Witcher from the original Witcher series on Netflix right now. That guy is really good. And he's doing another video game movie right now, Warhammer. He's doing the Warhammer movie. So like, I think he'd be a really great fit for this. You know what I mean? Like, those are everyone for Ganon that I feel like, yeah, they could fit it. But I think Ganon's pretty easy. When it comes to Zelda, it's a little harder. You could say Anne Taylor Joy, but she's already Peach in the animated Super Mario Bros. Movies. Not to say she can't do both, but you know what I mean? You want to mix it up, obviously, and provide a new voice or a new face kind of thing, especially because it's going to be live action, right? So for Zelda, if she was younger, I would have to say Keira Knightley. That would be my choice. But obviously, we're going to look for Zelda being a younger teenage woman kind of thing. Someone a little bit on the younger looking side, or you can make them on the younger looking side. So I'm thinking about Millie Bobby Brown or Daisy Ridley. Daisy Ridley was, of course, in the Star Wars movies, and we know Millie Bobby Brown from the Stranger Things series. They both play strong female roles, but they also have soft sides in their movies kind of thing, right? Why I want these two to be in there, I feel like they'd work for an adaptation of an Ocarina of Time movie because of Sheik. If we have Sheik, obviously you need a strong presence, but somebody that can be kind of on the boyish side, right? Because when we look at both of those actresses, they do have the tomboyish role, strong role, female dominant role in their respective movies and series. So I think they'd be a great fit for that. When it comes to Link now, this is where everything goes out the board. And like, even off script, I don't even know what to do off this one, okay? Tom Holland, everybody's throwing Tom Holland in there. I don't think he's the one for this one. I don't think Tom Holland's the one for this one, okay? I really don't think so, guys. Don't think so. I'm sorry, okay? He's a great actor to me, but wouldn't fit the role for Link well. Spider-Man is kind of a dopey guy. He needs to be serious at times, of course. So his role, but Link's role is mostly stoic, and he's the most goofy Link has ever been is in the Wind Waker. Can we all agree on this? Wind Waker Link is goofy. I'd say Twilight Princess Link is kind of goofy in the beginning, but not really. He's a farm boy. You know what I mean? Most of the Links are very stoic. Of course, he doesn't really talk. It's implied that he talks in some of the games. It's implied that he speaks in Tears of the Kingdom because of his gestures and things like that, that the people were, and how the people reply to him. But I personally believe we need to see a new actor in this role. Somebody that, some Tom Holland-esque features and stuff like that, I understand, but seems a little bit more mature. I can't even put a name to it. Personally, I couldn't even think of somebody who would be Link, but I honestly just don't know, because for this one it would be tough. Maybe Tom Holland gets it just off that fact that we can all kind of see him there because of his role in Spider-Man, Uncharted, etc. And he's closely worked with Avi Productions already. He's just kind of in those sci-fi-ish roles already, so maybe we throw him in there. But I want to see someone completely new. If you're gonna even go the route of maybe making this person mute in like the series, which would be insane, it would kind of be crazy, right? Like making a mute protagonist probably wouldn't work too well for a movie, but it's a possibility. You never know what could happen, right? You never know what kind of stretch and how far they're gonna throw this. But as far as what I'd like to see them make the movie, it's between Skyward Sword, Ocarina of Time, or get this from me, okay? I have 4 really and truly. I'll give you the 4th one too, just because I feel like it should be in here. 3rd one, The Imprisoning War from Breath of the Wild. Okay? I know with The Imprisoning War, Link's not in there a lot. He wouldn't be in there kind of thing. It'd be maybe some flashes to the future or something like that. Possibly you'd have Zelda in there kind of thing. But I'm not trying to spoil Tears of the Kingdom for anybody. But The Imprisoning War would make a great movie just because we don't know too much about it except for a certain point. The war leading up to Ganon in Breath of the Wild would be a great one as well. But I feel like those 2 movies as a side note kind of thing would be great. The first one of the war in Breath of the Wild as Link training to become Zelda's side and Zelda's aide, Zelda's warrior, would be pretty cool, because that provides a lot of lore and a lot of everything. You could see him fighting a guardian. I think Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom would make great movie adaptations and a great series, maybe like 4 movies kind of thing. So the ones I really want to see obviously are Skyward Sword and Ocarina of Time. Why Skyward Sword? Skyward Sword because it's the, spoiler alert here, it's the first one. It's the start of everything. It's the start of Demise, the curse, everything that happens in games to come is based off of Skyward Sword. And similarly, it's why I would choose Ocarina of Time, because so many games are based off of Ocarina of Time. The time split alone in Ocarina of Time is the whole reason why we have 3 separate timelines. That one move right there did everything. So if we can get to like the beginning of things from Skyward Sword, then we go Zelda 1, Zelda 2 kind of thing into like the Ocarina of Time era, something like that possibly, or like a Harry Potter vibe where we see like Ocarina of Time, like a young man transitions into the older actor kind of thing, and like we get movies off of that. First movie is Link as a boy, and then boom, second movie is the second part of Ocarina of Time where you become an older man. But obviously, if you've ever played that game, you go back and forth in time. It'd be kind of crazy. Then it's like, even then it spawns like where does the movie series go? Does it go to hero, like the fallen hero, the winning hero, or the Wind Waker side? Like it's so many speculation things. I have just, my brain is going crazy right now, like just like buzzing with ideas and things like that. I'm not trying to get too off track with things, but it's like, those are the ones I want to see. Ocarina of Time for the simple fact that we can have a Harry Potter effect that continues to go on, and then even goes into like Majora's Mask, one of my favorite Zelda games other than Breath of the Wild, or it can go into like Twilight Princess era, because that would be insane, right? Those are sequels. It would just go crazy. It would just go crazy. Skyward Sword, for the simple fact that it's the beginning of everything. It started everything. You could do a lot. And Link in that game isn't a teenager anymore. He is an older man. He's around like 17, 18. Like, you're not really that old, but like you can get somebody who looks a little bit older to play the role, and Zelda as well. That'd be pretty crazy, kind of crazy. I want to know what you guys think. What movies would you want? What would you like to see in them? Who would you like to see act in them? And everything else. Just talk. Tell me what's going on. Tell me how you feel. That's it for me. Peace.